right, well, this is going to be the after video.
Might want to kill the music.
Oh, done. Sorry about that. So we've had 4 taste testers now, and
Four taste test dummies.
yes, and each of them had something a little different to say, which is kind of usual.
Yeah.
I think for the most part they initially liked it.
Yeah, everybody liked it. The adults did anyway. They
the
really
adults
liked
did.
it.
Well, and again,
Yeah,
you
the
know, each
kids
of them
did
had
too.
their own recommendations. You know, and so we may end up doing something a little different next time. We don't.
Yeah,
by the way,
well-
that's why I had to wear gloves today.
Well, you should wear gloves.
I try to what did I say? De-fingerprint myself.
Yeah, at least on that finger anyway.
Yeah. So
I think this is something we're going to revisit, and we're going to revamp this. We're going to do it a different way. So sometime in the future, we will probably do another video on this, but we're going to change it up just a little bit.
change it up a little bit. It won't be much. It's
So-
probably going to be, instead of the cube, we might either just leave the cube out altogether
And did shred it in the
and
middle.
either shred it in it and the mixture, or Grammy's suggestion was leave the meat mixture the way it is,
And then put
and
the
then just
shredded
do the
on
shredded on
on
top
the
like we did
outside.
originally.
Put the glaze on, and then do the shredded on
Right.
top of it.
So something like that.
Yeah,
We got some ideas.
Yeah, my opinion is shred the cheese and go ahead and mix it in with the meat. Instead of sitting there, as the recipe found that calls for, making a patty in your hand and putting shredded cheese in it and then making a ball around that.
Yeah.
I think that the shredded cheese needs to go into the meat mixture before
I think it does too,
before we
yeah.
make the balls. out
I
of it.
think in that respect, yes, we should have probably followed the recipe to the T, which is why we bought 2 blocks of cheese.
Yeah. But our experimental side of
Experimental brains.
our said no, we're going to do it this way, and they really did come out good. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
I like the fact that the cheese melted a little bit in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't perfectly melty, but it was well enough melty that you knew it was there.
And with everything that we put on there, put in it, and everything, you can taste. When you take a bite of it, you can taste every seasoning. You can taste the glaze we put on it. You can taste every bit of cheese in it. It really did come out very, very good.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with it.
Mm-hmm. I think another thing Grammy said, and maybe this is something we got to consider too. We did the glaze on it, and we had a little bit left over, right? So we used it as a dip.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think next time, make more of it,
Yeah.
so we have more to kind of give out, because there was only about half of it left by the time everybody got a little bit of it.
You're always going to have, when you do a recipe similar to this, you're always going to have some left over. I did a recipe last week that I had a lot of it. I had a similar glaze that I made. I had a lot left over,
Yeah.
and which I really didn't need because of the way I cooked everything.
Yeah.
But that's something I did personally at home, for me in my other half.
Right, but what Grammy was kind of hinting at was that she actually enjoyed that.
She liked
glaze.
the dipping sauce,
She
kinda
liked it as a dipping sauce, and she thinks it would make a perfect complement to it. So, even though
I
there is
agree.
a little bit on top as a glaze, but
I agree. I
a
think
little extra never hurt, which we found out already.
Yeah. So with trying what we made today, so we did the glaze on top of it, put the shredded cheese on top of it, and let it cook. The glaze wasn't overbearing.
No,
It
really wasn't.
It had a subtle hint.
Very, very subtle hint.
Very subtle
honestly.
hint. I love that about that. It's like, I'm personally, I don't like anything that accents the flavor of the food you're eating. I don't want that accent to be overbearing. I want it to be subtle and
Very subtle, yeah.
or blend into it.
Right.
In which this basically did. Had a little subtle, and it blended into with what we put into it.
What you guys saw in the video, all we did was just dollop it and just kind of let it kind of be over the sides of it a little bit. But Grammy thinks that with the size of the balls that we made, that it was more of a plate and platter kind of
plate,
deal.
platter, fork and knife.
Yeah. Which,
And the
in all
that
respect,
does-
she's actually right
That
with
does
that.
make sense. I do see that. So the next time we do this, I think we'll make the smaller, bite-sized balls, and go ahead and do the shredded cheese mixture inside of the meat mixture.
Okay.
And then we still put, you know, a little bit of cheese on top of it towards the end, and after we do the glaze.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Cool. Well, at least we got a idea for next time.
Yeah.
So I think this might be something we might start doing.
Yeah, you might
may
see
start
it.
seeing
Yeah.
a little after the video kind of thing. So.
Yeah, this is something we just kind of threw in there, so let's do it. You know?
Yeah.
So we're gonna be doing some really simple recipes here pretty soon. Like quick things that you just go to the store and buy all the ingredients and kind of cheat a little bit and throw it together in less than 30 minutes.
Right.
So look forward to that because we did start another channel.
Yeah. So we're gonna be bouncing back and forth between the channels. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, we're looking.
We'll play it
forward-
by
yeah.
ear. We'll figure it out.
We're still looking
As we
forward
always
to
do.
giving y'all the best content we can, and we would love to have your feedback. So,
Yeah, definitely.
like you said earlier, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and please, I would love to see comments. We hadn't had many of those.
Yeah, it's
in
been a
quite
while. It's been a
so
while. Yeah.
I know there's a lot of you out there that are
do
watching.
watch.
And if you have a recipe that you want us to do, please send us a link, to our email or to actually to the channel. We're willing to look
Post
it
it
up.
in the comments.
Yeah.
Post it in the comments. Makes it easy. We can find it right there. So.
Without y'all, we don't have anything to do, pretty much, other than research.
Well, no, we have something to do.
Yeah,
but-
we have something to do, but what I want to get into later on is I want to start doing recipes y'all send us.
Yeah.
And do it your way, and then if there's something that you think we can change that you particularly didn't like with your recipe, let us know that too, and we're willing to try anything else sent out.
Yeah.
On that note,
I think we're done.
Yeah.
So, thank you for watching the After the Cook.
after the cook,
So I think that's what we'll start doing. We'll do After the Cook series and see what everybody thinks. Man,
Yeah.
I'll try and post them kind of back to back to kind of see what happens. And
this is we're a growing channel. We're still new at doing this, so give us a little
every little bit helps.
little bit of credit here, I guess, for trying.
Yeah.
So,
All right, guys. See you on the next video.
yep. Peace out.